The lost episodes. Maddie had always been obsessed with old television shows. She spent her weekends in search of forgotten gems, digging through dusty thrift store bins or scrolling through obscure streaming services. It was a passion inherited from her late grandfather, who had been a television writer in the early years of the industry. Amongst the stories he told her was one that both intrigued and terrified her, an unfinished pilot episode of a cult horror series called Shadows of the Past. Quote, according to her grandfather, Shadows of the Past had a unique claim to fame. It was rumored that the show was never fully aired due to its disturbing content. He had warned her never to seek out the unaired episodes, claiming that they held a darkness that could reach through the screen. Maddie, however, was undeterred. As a seasoned binge watcher, she was determined to uncover the bits of television history that remained hidden. One chilly autumn evening, while combing through a newly discovered streaming platform, Maddie stumbled upon a vague mention of a lost episode of Shadows of the Past. Her heart raced as she clicked the link, feeling a thrill of discovery. The episode was titled, The Reflection, and despite its status as unaired, the description was enough to hook her instantly. A young girl finds more than she bargains for when she unlocks her family's hidden past through a mysterious mirror. Resolutely, she settled down on the couch. The dim light flickered as the episode began, the opening credits rolling in an eerie sequence of haunting images. An unsettling score reverberated through the speakers, and Maddie felt a chill run down her spine. As the story unfolded, Maddie found herself absorbed in the protagonist's journey, a reflection of a girl navigating the horrors of her family's history. The tension built as the girl discovered a mirror tucked away in the attic, framed in wrought iron, with a cracked surface that seemed to ripple like water. It whispered secrets, encouraging her to peer deeper, promising revelations of her lineage. But as the episode stretched into its second act, things began to take a turn. Strange glitches flickered on the screen, distorting the visuals and twisting the sound like a warped cassette tape. Suddenly, the girl's reflection was not just a reflection anymore. It morphed into something sinister, eyes wide with desperation, begging to escape. Maddie's heart raced as she saw how the girl became increasingly unhinged, her reflection taunting and beckoning her closer. The atmosphere thickened with dread, the rooms of the house appearing darker and more foreboding. Maddie felt an unease wash over her, as if rooted to the couch by invisible tendrils. Just as the episode reached its climax, a series of fast-paced cuts revealed flashes of disturbing imagery, shadowy figures, screams, a family being consumed by their own reflections. The girl in the story stumbled back, fear coursing through her veins. And then came silence. The screen turned black, and Maddie waited for a moment, breath held, expecting the credits. Instead, an unsettling static filled the room, deep and unreal, reverberating from the speakers as though coming from another dimension. Her skin prickled as the static morphed into faint whispers. "Help me," it echoed, an anguished plea. Maddie's stomach dropped. The voice sounded disturbingly familiar. It was as if it were reaching out to her, a voice she had known in another lifetime. Suddenly, the screen flickered back, pitch black turned into the girl's distorted reflection, her eyes now glistening with dark tears. In a chilling moment, the girl turned to the camera and, mouth agape, screamed. Maddie screamed too, throwing the remote across the room. She turned to switch off the television, breathless. But the screen remained alive. The girl's scream transformed into manic laughter, echoing through the house. The room began to feel oppressively cold. Shadows crept across the walls, twisting and curling as if alive. They crawled towards her, pulsing with hunger. Maddie stood frozen, unable to comprehend what was happening, until she glanced into her own reflection in the mirror hanging on the wall. And there it was, herself, standing behind her, motionless, but not alone. A figure loomed over her shoulder, eyes wide and frantic, the girl from the episode, her mouth twisted in an eternal scream, begging Maddie to save her. With every ounce of courage, Maddie lunged toward the TV, frantically hitting buttons on the remote in a desperate bid to end the madness. But the laughter swallowed her whole, pulling her deeper into a horror that felt all too real. The last sound Maddie heard before everything went dark was her own voice, resonating through the whispers. "Help me, *." Days later, her family reported her missing. The last anyone saw of Maddie was her excited chatter about discovering something extraordinary, the lost episode. The television remained in the same spot, its screen flickering to life again and again, the echoes of laughter and cries of help reverberating off the walls, waiting for another curious soul to dare press play.